Good afternoon and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be finishing up Air Raid from Earthrise, the Air Raid mold, which is a modulator building former. Not a city former like Metroplex, which is a transformer I really wish I had. That guy's awesome. But it's a building former, something that I find quite intriguing in the Transformers world, and I honestly would like to see more of. I think that building formers are really cool, and I would really like to see some in the deluxe format so that we can, well, actually, in the scaling for deluxe. Like, I would like to see Air Raid done in Titan class so that we could just have this giant, moldable fortress or building to play with. You have opening doors, places where you could park vehicles. I think that would be cool. I think that would be an awesome transformer. And if any of you know of a transformer like that, that has like opening doors to park things in and stuff like that, that's more for the chug scale, to allow chug vehicles, or even core class, let me know in the comments down below because I would really like to know more about that. Um, it's a it's something that I've always enjoyed. I'm a big fan of two things in Transformers, like majorly over everything else, and those two things are that I really enjoy the the transformation aspect of Transformers. That is my number one most favorite thing about Transformers. Number two is I enjoy the fact that they do things like have buildings that transform, and I just absolutely love that idea, that concept is truly amazing and impacts the sci-fi world greatly. Like a movable, mobile base that could transform and defend itself. I think I don't know why more sci-fi hasn't included that. I honestly can't tell you why more sci-fi hasn't included such a thing. I believe that you get some of those science operas, space operas. It's high sci-fi and everything's so technologically advanced, yet they don't have a single space station that becomes a mobile fortress or can transform or something like that. And I know they can't use transform, they use convert. You can use convert, but still, it's something that I think is lacking in the science fiction community. And it's something, personally speaking, I'm trying to work on by writing a book. And in that, it will include things that convert and transform because I believe it is a seriously awesome aspect of science fiction, and it needs to be included more often. So that being said, let's get into these two buildings. Interestingly enough, the major difference between Air Raid and Ironworks is that Air Raid is a triple changer and Ironworks is not. Ironworks becomes a industrial plaza and Ironworks becomes a robot. That's what Ironworks becomes. You can move those pieces around and assemble them in different ways, but at the end of the day, you get two things with Ironworks. With this, though, with Air Raid, you get three things. Three things. You get a mobile vehicle, you get a little building, and you get a robot. So let's talk about the two things that you get in addition to the robot today. And these things are this airport that I have just knocked a thing off of. Oh, I just knocked uh, the moon countdown off of it. Where did you go, countdown? Oh, you how? Why? You went far. All right. So we got countdown here, and he's going to try to explain with size scaling as he can. And I really appreciate having countdown because I got the Botropolis Rescue Pack, and countdown kind of fits with that pack very well. I can understand why that pack is going for $130 on Amazon, and if anybody likes the colorations and stuff, good deal. It also comes with two really nice transformers. So I got him in front of the building, and we can see that when Countdown is in front of the building stretches to the top of his knees. It's kind of a weird juxtaposition, if you ask me, because when the building is transformed into robot mode, uh, Countdown here goes to the top of goes to his knees. So it's just interesting, like when he's on the road or the landing strip, he is the building behind him is as tall as his knees. It's just that's funny. I like that. I think that's cool. All right, so we're just going to set him over here to the side, and we're going to showcase him with the other vehicle. Actually, we can put him on top of it. Yeah, I'm just going to set him off over here to the side, and we'll talk about this airport first, and then we're going to move over to this other vehicle that I have a core class figure parked on. So the airport, I've got the Air Raid group. I forget what they're called, but they're the Micromaster 2 planes. I do wish that we got a Micromaster helicopter, because a helicopter could have fit on this little landing pad off to the side. I'm not 100% sure if that landing pad was supposed to be like that, because we're getting a little trouble with this bit actually laying flat on the ground, but maybe that's just there. Maybe. Okay. Yep. Hey. All right. It's a little flatter, but it still is bouncy. Anyway, now the building doesn't really have many gimmicks. You get this nice little control tower that I put a gun on top of, and then you've got a little siege port beside it. So building mode has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, counting that fist hidden there. The siege ports. Any more? No more siege ports. So it's got 6 siege ports in its building mode, which honestly is really nice. And it has more siege ports on the actual building than Omega Supreme has on his fortress. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this building alone, and Metroplex has none on his fortress part. Not talking the ramp thing around it with the legs, because there's 2 siege ports there. I'm talking the actual fortress that holds the rocket, which is my biggest complaint with that figure. My same biggest complaint is that he doesn't have that. So this guy gets more siege ports than Omega Supreme. So we're going to put that gun back in the siege port there, and we get the handy dandy Lego pad out, and let's do a little measurement, because whenever I was watching videos on this, it was really hard for me to figure out what in the world they were even talking about. So it's things like this that made me start this channel up, to help the visually impaired when it comes to Transformers. So when you measure it lengthwise, from the end of the runway to the end of the runway that runs in front of the building, we get, let's see, I forget how many that is. So we're just going to move backwards, and it's right there. So that's 32, 31, 30, 29. 29 studs in length from runway to runway. I think that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and move that. Also, another cool aspect about this building is it actually stays together very well. That surprised me, how well this thing can stay together even when you're just holding it by the building. You can flip this thing upside down, sideways, everything. It stays together very well. It's a very well designed thing. I just wish it had a little more depth to it instead of just this 2D kind of thing. But that's my only negative with it, is I do wish it had a little more depth to it. But for the most part, this is one really cool little structure. So we're going to set the airport off to the side. The airport, like I said, really cool. I love the fact you can use the Micromasters on it, and it can combine with other modulator things to make a city. So you can combine it with your Skylinks. I think I have a Skylink. Yeah, look. Skylinks! Oh man! In his space shuttle mode, his bottom vehicle mode is currently the middle portion of my entire space station. And so that's why I'm not going to bring out the middle section, because I have to disconnect it from more things. So Skylinks allows you to have that connection, the connectability there, and because his little base that he comes with, the links part, transforms into a decent little structure. I wish it had more, but at least it has a garage portion so you can store some vehicles in, which I like a lot. Now, the other one that came with a nice piece is the Astro Train. You can also get Galaxy Shuttle. That came with a really nice piece. And something that I never managed to get a hold of, except one, and he's currently in the pit box, but the Quintessence. If you got one of the Quintessence, they actually transformed into a house for your core class figures. A really nice one. And they came with a little cage. So you could put core class figures in a little cage, which I thought was really neat too. Well, maybe not core class Micromaster, but that's another thing that came with the ability to assemble bases. Nobody really talks about that one, but I think that came with one of the most interesting pieces, because their little chair transformed into a ramp kind of thing. That was really neat. So lots of modulator pieces. I wish there were more. I really do wish there were more. Hasbro just ended that line too soon. I think if they had just continued going with it and kept pushing out more parts, it would have become very popular. It required a little risk. Now, here's the other half of Air Raid. Air Raid transformed into vehicle mode. Now, I have the core class Starscream chilling on top of him to showcase how big this thing can get. And core class Starscream is a very big core class figure, just FYI, when he's in vehicle mode. His vehicle mode is very large. But this vehicle mode for the Air Raid is quite excellent. Let's see if I can get out Bumblebee. Here's Bumblebee. We get Bumblebee. We park Bumblebee on the big road on the front of him. That's pretty nice. And Bumblebee rolls quite well on this road. And it's actually really, really nice. This thing is not as long as the airport. We're going to set Starscream off over here to the side and pull out the handy dandy Lego pad and do a quick measurement for the handy dandy Lego pad. When it comes to this thing's length in vehicle mode, I'm just going to move it there and there. Alrighty. Oh shoot, I may have mismeasured. Okay, let's put that back. Okay, and then my fault. I picked up. Just set that off to the side. And let's see. There it is. And 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 studs in length. And width-wise, he is going to be wider than the normal Transformer, I think. Yep, he's about 10 studs wide. So, it gives you an idea of the mobile vehicle mode, or mobile transport. I'm just going to call it the land carrier. Yeah, land carrier mode. That sounds cool. Land carrier mode, it's a decent-sized little mode. It's wider than average deluxe class, and it's a bit deeper. So let's see if it actually can hold an average deluxe class figure. Reach behind me and grab. Sure, why not? Yeah, look at that. Warpath fits on there very well, and this makes it even a scarier tank thing. That's nice. That's cool. Warpath can just chill on here perfectly. Look at that. His treads go on the edge on each side so well. Better than Omega Supreme's tank fit on his track, you know? Like, wow. That's cool. I like that. All right. And of course, I love me a Warpath. He's a fun Transformer. But this is a nice little vehicle. We've got the control tower off to the side to allow another port. So this wing will have 1, 2, 3, 4 ports, 5 ports on it. Sadly, no ports on the side, but we do get some pegs going on. A couple of pegs. All the other ports get filled in this mode, so you only get those ports. You only get 5 in this, but you also get 2 pegs. I'm not sure if you get any more pegs. Nope. Now, interestingly enough about this, and something I wanted to mention, is it's got these male connectors for the airlock system hanging out above the building. And that's always weirded me out. I'm going to be straight with you. I just don't understand why that's there. But we can do something fun, and I call this the double stack. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove these 2 pieces. We don't need the other side of this. Let's go ahead and straighten out this piece here. Come on, get out. There you go. Okay, we don't need the end cap. That's an arm. But we do need this end cap that I put a little thing on. So just pull that off. You can chill on this side over here. All right. Now we're going to move that around. Okay. And let's go ahead and assemble the road section with these 2 runways. I'm just going to go ahead and snap them into place. And hopefully we did this right. Actually, no. So we're going to have to move these things around so that the connector points are facing the right way. After all, we want everything to connect properly. So you're going to have to rearrange that arm section I plugged in there so that these little knobby bits are sticking out front, and they will connect into that tread on the front of the motor. So we've got both of these going on here. Excellent, excellent. And close that down. Snap it into the tread. Snap it into the tread. Don't you break off. Sometimes it likes to break off instead of snapping into the tread. Hey, you making me mad. There you go. Yeah, now snap into that tread. Yeah, like Slim Jim. Nope. Oh, it's slightly bent. So that can be a difficulty with this thing. It sometimes gets a little bent out of shape, and then it doesn't want to do things. Easiest way to fix this problem. if you have it. And you're like, I can't get this thing to line up. It's frustrating me. You can take, where's that arm? All right, we got the arm here. Go ahead and transform the arm into the in segment. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and unplug one of these bits, or both of these. No, just one of them. It's just being obtuse, being a jerk over here. So plug that back in. Unplug this arm. There it goes. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in this end cap, and this we'll call this our stabilizer. Yeah, it'll be a stabilizer. It'll help line everything up so we don't have any mistakes when assemble. Hey, you're not allowed to disassemble yourself. No disassemble number 9. There you go. All right, you're all lined up. You're all lined up. Excellent. Now we can plug you in. Come on, plug you in. There you go. Yeah, that's good. It's a good transformer. That's a good transformer. Now go to your home. Go to your home. Plug into your home. All right. Come on. We're on a time crunch here. You plug into your home. Thank you. Good grief. Sometimes things just do not want to work with you. You know what I mean? All right. Now we're going to unplug the end and hopefully not screw everything up by doing it. There it goes. Okay. Now that we've got this piece assembled, let's go ahead and do something fun. I call this the double stack. So we can go ahead and plug these guys into that thing, and hopefully it works. All right, there's that one. Come on now, plug in, plug and play. There you go. Yeah, there we are. Now we've got the double stack. Hopefully an earthquake doesn't come around and collapse one into the other one, but that's something you can do. You can have fun with this toy, and it grants you access to 2 more siege ports on the front. We can go ahead and put Starscream on top of it. Yeah, I think that's fun. Thank you for watching today's video. This is a very fun transformer you can do a lot with. The play patterns are endless. The ability to mold it into different shapes, disassemble it and rebuild it into a tiny city for your Micromasters in your core class is it's a lot of fun, and I really like the Air Raid. I like the Air Raid more than the Ironworks, but we'll discuss Ironworks in time. I'm sure we'll come across another have enough time to do a modulator soon. So look forward to that one in the future, where I'll cover Ironworks, the second half of the Botropolis rescue mission, and we'll talk about the Botropolis rescue mission as an entire whole in a video in the future. Thank you for watching, and tune in next Prime. The next video I have for you is I'm going to try and get a friend to record me shaving. I've been growing my beard out. I've been growing out all my facial hair because I figured, you know what? Y'all don't know how I shave. You don't know how I tend my my facial hair. So I figured that would be a cool video. So I've been, and it's difficult. I've gotten in the habit of trimming my hair and stuff, and it's just that I've been slapping myself going, no, you can't trim it. You can't trim it. We want a good video. And so that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow is I'm going to go ahead and shave all this mess off my face and record doing it, and then you get to witness how a blind person shaves. So I hope that you come and watch that video. Keep tuned for that, and join me next time. Bye-bye for now.